Alright, let's do this. So I started my YouTube channel in 2016 and it's been 3 years. And you guys have been asking me one question since then. So I thought, along with my face reveal, make an interesting video along with it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my year in review. Basically, I'm going to talk about everything that I did in 2019 as a designer, my learnings, my challenges, accomplishments, milestones, everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I have everything listed on my laptop, so I'm just going to be, going through everything one by one. Now, I'm not going to start off with January 2019. I'm going to start from September 2018. Why? Because that was the time when I actually started working for the first time as a designer. Until then, I was on a totally different career path. And then in September 2018, I shifted to design and started working full-time as a designer. So kind of, so you could say that my year kind of started in September 2018. So in September 2018, I joined a company called Dribbble. It's an Australian startup that has an app. Basically, the objective of the company was to connect strangers and people to meet together and go on trips and travels. Basically, a social media platform for travelers. So you could say it's kind of like Facebook for travelers. So I started working there from September 2018. And I did a lot of work such as graphic design, motion graphics, and a little bit of UI and UX design. So to get that job, obviously, I needed to have a portfolio. So I worked on 2 projects that I put in my portfolio, to showcase it. So the first project I worked on was an app redesign for an app called as TubeBuddy. It's basically a Chrome extension for YouTubers, and they also have an app, obviously. Basically, TubeBuddy allows you to manage your YouTube channel much more flexibly than YouTube allows you to do. So I downloaded the app, and since I'm a YouTuber, I used to use this app now and then, and I thought redesigning this would be an awesome idea, would be an awesome project. It's one of my first UI UX projects that I did, and I'm pretty proud of it. Now the other project I did was a redesign for an eSports team called as Vanguard eSports. This is again a personal project. Is again a nice Behance project that I put together and showcased the design. So all the links will be down below in the description if you guys want to check it out. All right, November. So the only interesting thing that happened was that I reached 20,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. December. I released my first course on Udemy on designing and animating material icons by using Illustrator and After Effects. It's pretty cool and it's pretty exhaustive as well. I go through the basics of Illustrator and After Effects. You can check it out. Is that on Udemy? If you go to the link in the description of this video, you can get a discount for 50%, and you can get a discount of 50% and check out the course. Right? It's pretty cool and interesting. A lot of people have enrolled to it and they seem to be pretty happy with it. I also wrote a case study on the TubeBuddy app redesign that I did. So this is much more exhaustive and much more detailed. So it's a really cool case study. And I think all case studies should be written in this format. Basically, you're telling a story. So you don't focus too much on wireframes and research and personas and all things. People like to see the final design decisions, the new design, and how you came across making those design decisions. Another cool milestone for my YouTube channel is I reached 1.5 million views, and that is insane. That's a huge deal. January 2019 now. Till now, I was working at Dribbble, and in January, I decided to move into a different organization. I wanted to get into a different company. Why? Because I wanted to work with a really good design team. I wanted to work with developers, and I wanted to solve really big, amazing business problems. So I joined a company called Unacademy. It's one of India's largest edtech startups. So I reached out to the head of design at Unacademy. His name is Abhinav Chhikara. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on Instagram. And he does a lot of cool side projects. And he's really a great mentor. So I reached out to him and I told him that I wanted to join Unacademy. And we had 2 rounds of interviews and discussions. And finally, I got selected into Unacademy. And I've been working there since then. Now, another small side project I worked on was creating these galaxy wallpapers. So basically, these are really cool neon style theme wallpapers that you can download for free. It's available for Android and iOS, so they're like super high resolution. February 2019. So I conducted this mega giveaway on my YouTube channel. So I partnered up with a couple of guys and it was like UI kits and icon packs and templates and all sorts of stuff. All right, so March 2019, a couple of things happened. I turned 23 years old. So I'm 23 years old now. So I participated in a contest by Yellow Images, and Yellow Images is a website where you can download super high quality, high resolution mockups for Photoshop. They're really stunning and they're fantastically made by one of the most amazing designers in the world. And they conducted this contest where I had to make a review about how I used Yellow Images product, and I made a simple video about it, and I won the first place. And I've been downloading mockups from their website for a very long time now, so definitely do check it out if you guys are interested for some high quality mockups. Now, another thing that I worked on is related to my work at Unacademy. So I was in charge of redesigning the entire search experience for Unacademy because they hadn't redesigned it or worked on it for the past 2 years, and they gave me the project to redesign it, which was really challenging and really amazing as well because I learned a lot of things. The problem with search is that for any platform, it's really hard to figure out the user behavior because everybody searches in a different way. And the only thing that I could do was to take the data that we had and make design decisions on it. So I wrote an article all about it on Medium, and you can definitely check it out. It's a very small article, and I talk about how I use data to make design decisions and redesign the search experience. So if you guys are interested, definitely do check it out. Link will be down below in the description. Okay, April. So in April, I created a Discord server, to engage with the community a bit more. Now, I'm not that quiet on the Discord server as of today, but people do share their work, they ask questions, they discuss a lot of things. So if you guys are interested in joining the Discord server, definitely check it out, link in the description. I also started working on a really cool side project, and this was during the IPL season, which is the Indian Premier League. It's a cricket tournament in India. And what I did was I decided to redesign the jerseys for the teams. Now, I was able to redesign only 4 of them, so you can check them out on Dribbble. So basically, I redesigned teams Mumbai Indians, Royal Challengers Bangalore, Kings 11 Punjab, and Delhi Capitals. It was really fun and really interesting. I'd never worked on redesigning IPL jerseys. I'm probably going to do that next year as well. So this is a really cool, fun project. Okay, so May 2019, 2 milestones. One is I reached 2 million views on my YouTube channels. And the second one is that I reached 2,000 followers on Twitter, which is a small milestone. Okay, so I started working on another side project. This time I collaborated with Rotato, and Rotato is a really cool tool that helps you create these animated mockups. Now, this is available only for Mac. I even made a video. So the person behind Rotato is a designer from Google. So I reached out to him and I told him that I could help him. So I worked on creating a couple of cool presets, which he integrated into the tool, which is really stunning. I never expected that, my work would be inside, a design tool, which is pretty cool. So definitely do check it out. It's become the #1 product of the day on Product Hunt, and there are a lot of tutorials. I even made a full-fledged tutorial on it. You can check it out. Link in the description again. All right, so this is the biggest thing that happened in May, and I was really surprised and really fascinated by it. So I used to be on Instagram all the time, and I used to see these carousel design related posts, and suddenly I realized that I could do a much better job at this. I mean, people are doing it, but it isn't perfect, it isn't great. So I decided to take up the challenge and do these on my own. So I started putting out these carousel posts. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I highly recommend. I put a ton of amazing content. I even do weekly Q&As. So I end up helping a lot of people who have design questions, who need advice and a little bit of mentorship. So definitely do check it out. So like I was saying, I used to post a lot of these carousel posts and people started liking it. And I gave myself a deadline of 1 month. And the challenge was I wanted to get 10,000 followers in just 1 month. And I ended up getting 10,000 followers in 1 month. It was crazy. My Instagram just blew up, and it was a really proud moment for me. Okay, June 2019. So I wrote another article, and it was all about designing dock theme for Android. So basically, it's a full-fledged article. I also have a video on it. But basically, the article talks about all the processes, all the steps, all the guidelines, given by Google to implement or design dark mode for your Android app. So it's a very detailed and exhaustive article. It's really amazing. I don't think there's any other article like that out there, which is very well documented, and I give a lot of examples and edge cases. So if you guys ever want to learn dark mode, or you guys want to implement dark mode for your Android app, definitely do check it out. Link in the description. Now, the other thing that happened was my company, Unacademy, raised $50 million in June. It's fantastic. It's insane. And the best part is that I was happy to be a part of a company that's growing very well, that's impacting lives, and is just, growing at a very fast rate. So it's not only important to work with a good design team, but it's also important to work on a company that's growing and that's moving up the ladder pretty fast. Okay, July 2019. Another milestone, I reached 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. Again, fantastic. So from 20,000 to 30,000 was a big jump. Really happy about that. And my goal for 2020 is to get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to put out a lot of content, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully I do end up getting 100,000 subscribers. I also attended this cool Apple event at Bangalore. So Apple conducts these events on a monthly basis. So they talk about different aspects of iOS. Now this one was about AR. So they explained how to implement AR and use AR to improve your product or improve your service. And it was a really cool event. I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of developers, a lot of designers, and the Apple office is fantastic. It's really nice, obviously, because it's Apple. So I've been following this website called applypixels.com. So basically, it's a list of resources that you can download and use. It could be icon kits, illustrations, so many cool stuff. You can definitely check it out. And the guy behind it is Michael Flarup, and he is the best and the most amazing icon designer in the world. He designs app icons for a living, and he's fantastic at it. And so what I did was I reached out to him and I told him that if he ever needed help, I could help him out with it. And he straight away said no, right? He just said no, that he's not looking for anybody. So a few days later, I reached out to him and I told him that, hey, you seem to have a lot of resources for Sketch and Photoshop. If you need help with making it for Figma or Adobe XD, let me know. And he immediately said yes. So I worked on a lot of projects with him, and it was really fun to work with a designer. So I too learned a lot on how these UI kits and resources are made. So a couple of things that I worked on was the iOS 13 UI kit, making these app icons for iOS 13 and macOS and the Android adaptive icon. And I'm going to be putting out a lot more resources with these guys. So if you guys need any resources, really cool resources, let me know. I can work with them and put out the resource if you want, or definitely check it out and download the resource that they already have. It's pretty cool. So as I mentioned before, I ended up getting 10,000 followers on Instagram, and a lot of people ended up asking me how I was able to do it, get 10,000 in just 1 month. And so I wrote an article on Medium on my entire process, my thinking, my strategy, my secret tips on, how to beat the Instagram algorithm. So definitely do check it out if you want to up your Instagram game. There are a lot of resources. I give a lot of examples on what you should do and what you shouldn't do, what are the things that people like, and so on and so forth. Definitely do check it out. Okay, August 2019. So I worked with Mengto from DesignCode, and if you don't know DesignCode, it's an amazing website where you can learn lots of design skills and development skills. It is fantastic. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's one of the best places to learn a new design tool. And he told me that he wanted to sponsor me and I would make a Webflow course. So you can actually check out a free Webflow course on my YouTube channel. And the entire course talks about building an entire simple landing page from scratch. If you are a beginner to Webflow, I highly recommend you check it out. It's got 12 parts and I explain each and every part, right from interactions, responsiveness, hosting, and basically everything that you need to know to get started in Webflow. Okay, so I worked on another project for my portfolio, and I decided to take this to the next level and do something challenging. So this is an app called a Step Set Go for Android and iOS. I'm not sure if you have heard about it, but basically what it does, it counts the steps that you walk, and it converts those steps into coins which you can redeem for vouchers and stuff like that. So what I did was I decided to build an app for the Apple Watch, all right? So to make it like a companion app. So finally I was able to put together an amazing project on Behance. So definitely do check it out, and you can also check out my Medium article that I wrote on it. I talk about my process and a little bit about the guidelines of designing an Apple Watch and my process, and basically like a case study on how to do it. Also made a fun video on how the Apple Watch would look and how it would, how the app would run on the Apple Watch. So definitely check that out as well. All the links will be in the description of the video. All right, September 2019. A lot of things happened. The first one was that my article that I wrote on designing dark mode for Android apps got featured in Muesli's Design Digest, and I was so excited about it. My article getting featured by InVision is just it was just amazing. Super excited about that. I attended another Apple event, and this was about iOS 13 and dark mode. I kind of already knew most of it, but it was nice to listen to somebody talk about it and be in front of a person from Apple talking about it. And again, I met a lot of great designers and developers. Really interesting. Another cool thing that I worked on, which was again challenging, was so at Unacademy we decided to integrate Lottie animations into our apps. So what we had to do was I was in charge of creating these Lottie animations, and I had used Lottie before, but I never actually got a chance to see it implemented in action. So I had to work with the developers, and I made a lot of mistakes while making the Lottie animations. I learned a lot of things that you should do and you shouldn't do. It was a really cool learning experience. So I also have a video on my YouTube channel about Lottie. So if you guys are getting started in Lottie or are beginners to Lottie, highly recommend you check it out. It's a very exhaustive and a detailed tutorial, talks about everything you need to know about Lottie. So the link to that will be in the description. Okay. The three more things that happened was something that's really interesting is I attended Bangalore's 2019 Design Meet. Now this is hosted by a company called Zeta, and they do this every single year, and a lot of people attend it. It's the best place to network, meet new designers, talk about design. It's always been a fun day for me. So this is an event that I never ever miss. I would miss any other event, but this is an event I never miss. Now, the other thing that happened that I'm really proud of is that I got invited to one of the most reputed college, which is Vellore Institute of Technology, to give a talk about design. And this was their first ever design talk, or a guest speaker who was invited to give a talk about design. And there were around 180 to 200 students. And it was amazing giving a talk to them. It was from 3 o'clock to I think 9 o'clock, 6 hours. I also did a small workshop on teaching them how to use Figma. So the best part was that these guys are so enthusiastic and energetic to learn about design, and it was something very new to them. And I'm really happy that I was the first one to ever give a talk at that college. Now, after getting invited to VIT, I got invited to another college, which was NIT, which was National Institute of Technology at Patna. So I flew to Patna and I gave a talk again about design to around 150 students, and those guys also were very energetic. So this was a 2-day event. The first day was a simple talk, and the next one was a workshop on Webflow, and I also gave them a problem statement on coming up with and they had to come up with an app, a concept. It was really cool, talking about the various aspects of design, giving them feedback, and basically, trying to instill the passion and interest of design into all these people. So that was really fun again. Okay, October 2019. So I partnered up with a design board from Bangalore, and I conducted a Webflow workshop. So this is a 4-day Webflow workshop. It happens on 2 Saturdays and 2 Sundays in a month. And this was my first Webflow workshop I ever conducted. So I basically designed an entire landing page, and I taught them how to build the whole thing in Webflow, interactions, animations, and all sorts of things. It was really fun. So another cool thing that I worked on this year was a client project, and I had to redesign a website to improve conversion rate. So this client reached out to me and they told me that they sell protein coffee, and their website was not doing well because honestly their original website was really bad, and they wanted me to redesign it so to help them improve conversion rates. So we sat together. I think I spent around 1.5 months doing everything, and I finally launched it, and you can actually see the real website which I have designed. I also wrote a Medium article on it, and it's got a lot of attraction. People started loving it. Some people even said that they had never read a case study like that. I don't know if that's true or not, but they said that they were really impressed with my case study, so definitely do check that out. All right, November 2019. We're almost at the end of the year. So after giving a talk at VIT and NIT, I got invited to another college, which was Manipal Institute of Technology. And this was the best talk that I ever given. I loved the crowd here. They were so welcoming, they were so energetic, and I really still miss them today because they are such an amazing crowd. So by the way, if you guys want me to come to your college or organization or institution and give a talk, definitely do let me know. So just let me know when, and I'll be there. Okay, another milestone for my YouTube channel. I reached 35,000 subscribers, which is amazing. So talking about that coffee, protein coffee website redesign I did, it got featured on UX Planet on their newsletter, and also got featured by Sidebar. So these are like really cool achievements for me. And the best part is that when your work gets featured by somebody else, it knows that you are on the right track, that you have done a great job. So I'm super proud of that. All right, December 2020. All right, couple of things. I attended another Apple event. This was about purely related to design. It was about design principles. It was a really fantastic talk. I really enjoyed it. So I conducted a second Webflow workshop again with DesignCode at Bangalore. And this time I took up a different website and I redesigned it, and I taught them how to build that with interactions, responsiveness, and everything. I attended another design event. This is called Design Mix, and this is by Myntra. Again, a nice place to network and hang out with designers and talk about design. I was also invited to be a guest on a podcast. Now, I'm not allowed to mention any details about it until it releases. It's going to release in January, so I will let you guys know when it releases. So make sure to follow me wherever you guys prefer to follow me, and I will guys let you know. So basically, I talk about my journey as a designer, a couple of my opinions about design, mentorship, and things like that. It's pretty cool. And some fun stuff. So we took pictures for Christmas. So the design team, we took pictures in red, white, and green, just for the festive season. So that's pretty much it about everything that I did as a designer in 2019. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't a very long video. Let me know in the comment sections what you guys thought, and I'll see you guys in my next video. So till then, take care and bye-bye.